bigger muscle is a stronger muscle. We've all heard that before. The idea that if you want to get bigger, you have to get stronger. But then why are these massive bodybuilders being outlifted by much smaller powerlifters? Why are the bodybuilders bigger but also weaker? It seems like these two realities are at war with one another. There are a few factors that influence strength. Where your muscles connect to your bone is a big one. Most people's bicep tendon connects around 3 centimeters away from their elbow joint. But if that tendon connects just 1 centimeter further out, then they'll be able to curl 33% more weight just from having better leverage. The length of your limbs is another big one. If someone's forearms are 10% longer, then they'll be able to curl 10% less weight, even though their biceps are the same size. Mind you, those longer arms will give them greater reach, which can help with lifts like the deadlift.
He's going to try to deadlift 634. If he pulls this will be the greatest pound-for-pound deadlift ever made, and he has done it. He did it. Look at the length of the arms.
Different people also have different ratios of fast-twitch and slow-twitch muscle fibers. The fast-twitch muscle fibers are more explosive, whereas the slow-twitch fibers have more endurance. The important thing to keep in mind is that these first 3 factors are all genetic. We can't change them. And they don't even have a big impact on how we should train, aside from the fact that we should choose lifts that suit our proportions. Plus, most people are relatively normal, so this doesn't even explain why the average powerlifter seems stronger than the average bodybuilder. So let's toss this stuff aside and dive into the stuff that actually matters. When we're comparing bodybuilders against powerlifters, a lot of them actually have fairly similar strength genetics. You'll even see some powerlifters becoming bodybuilders and vice versa. The main thing that separates them is that they've specialized their bodies in slightly different ways. The powerlifter is focused on strength, becoming stronger for his size, whereas the bodybuilder is focused on gaining muscle mass. Can that make the bodybuilder bigger but weaker? Not quite. A bigger muscle really is a stronger muscle, meaning that when bodybuilders are growing bigger, they're also growing stronger. So what's going on here? Why can't they lift as much weight? The first problem is a semantic one. Different people define strength in different ways. If we look it up, strength is the ability to move heavy weights or do other physically demanding tasks. But powerlifters define it much more narrowly than that. To them, it's all about how much you can squat, bench, and deadlift for a single all-out repetition. They aren't trying to be strong in a general sense, they're trying to win at their sport. And so they do weird things like optimizing their leverages to allow them to lift more weight. That's why you'll see them doing low bar squats, wide grip bench presses, and wide stance sumo deadlifts. It's a specialized type of strength. If we compare powerlifting against another strength sport, you can see where this gets kind of ridiculous. Is a powerlifter stronger than a strongman because he can bench press more weight? I would argue no, they're just stronger at different things. The same is true of the bodybuilder. A bodybuilder's main goal is to build bigger muscles, so they do a wider variety of lifts and a wider variety of rep ranges, making them bigger overall and giving them more general strength, but also making them less specialized in any given strength sport. Let's start with a simple example. The bodybuilder trains his biceps, whereas the powerlifter might not. After all, building bigger biceps won't build a bigger squat, bench press, or deadlift. So as the bodybuilder is building bigger biceps, he's not improving his powerlifting total, and so he's getting weaker relative to his size. But only if we're using the powerlifter's definition of strength, and only if we're holding the bodybuilder's size against it. I'm not sure that's fair. Bigger biceps are stronger biceps, so all else equal, the bodybuilder will be able to curl more weight than the powerlifter. In that sense, the bodybuilder is stronger. I'd argue that the bodybuilder is stronger overall, too, since his muscles are able to do more things. The next thing to consider is that a chain will break at its weakest link. Powerlifters are trying to deadlift a ton of weight, so they need fearsomely strong spinal erectors. Bodybuilders want big spinal erectors too, they look really cool, but it's rare to find a bodybuilder who trains their spinal erectors with the same fervor as a powerlifter. And so, even if the bodybuilder's hips are just as big and strong as the powerlifter might be able to deadlift quite a bit more weight because he's done a better job of reinforcing the weak link for that specific lift. The next thing to consider is the rep range that people train in. The bodybuilder is trying to build muscle, so he'll use a rep range that stimulates muscle growth more efficiently, rationing his strength over sets of 6, 12, or even 20 repetitions. That will make him quite strong in a moderate rep range. The powerlifter, though, is training for maximal strength. They aren't just trying to build bigger, stronger muscles, they're also training to recruit all of their motor units at the same time, allowing them to lift the most weight possible for one all-out repetition. That's why powerlifters go through long peaking phases where they train their muscles to lift more explosively. Those peaking phases are terrible for building muscle, so bodybuilders skip them. For them, it's a waste of time. My point is, a bodybuilder isn't weak just because he isn't optimized for the deadlift. A strongman isn't weak just because he isn't any good at the bench press. And a powerlifter isn't weak just because he sucks at barbell curls. We don't need to let any one style of lifting define what strength is. The type of strength you develop depends on what you train for. If you're trying to build muscle, you can do hypertrophy training, the style of training designed to help you build muscle. And you can pour all of your effort into getting stronger at that specific style of training. You don't need peaking or power lifts, and you don't need to buy an Atlas stone. You'll get just as strong as if you did powerlifting, weightlifting, or strongman training. The only difference is that the strength you develop will be more in line with your goals. Mind you, if you want to be both big and strong, then you should bulk up your postural muscles too. That way you won't have any glaring weak links. As for testing your strength, you don't need to play by anybody else's rules. Progressive overload is incredibly important, and it's crucial that you get stronger, but you can test your strength on the lifts you choose and the rep ranges you're already using. If you're building your chest with a moderate grip bench press for sets of 10 repetitions, then you can test your strength by doing a moderate grip bench press for a set of 10 repetitions. Or you could try to get more reps than you did before. As long as you're getting stronger, that's a sign that you're improving. Okay, I think that sets the stage for at least 2 more topics that are even more interesting than this one. If you want me to let you know when those videos are ready, gently press the subscriber button and ding the notification bell, and I'll let you know as soon as they're up. I hope to see you there.